There was a woman, 62 years old. Her name is Stephanie Brinson. Her husband has been in jail since like the 90s. She went to visit him, conjugal visit. So when they do these conjugal visits, they get like 30 to 40 hours in these like apartment style things.
Hours?
Yeah, they can stay there for like a whole day, if you're married. So I mean, this is her husband. She went to visit that man. He's like, hey, my wife passed out, something's going on. So they're like, oh my gosh, and she passed away. They don't know. They did an autopsy. That man strangled her.
Why?
Because he's a murderer, and that's what they do. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lex P.
And it's your girl, Dre Nicole.
And you are tuned in to another episode of Poor Minds,
where a drunk mind speaks sober thought.
We got some guests today. Okay, y'all. So first of all, it's very rare that we have two guests sitting on the couch with us, okay? So I just want to say I am so excited to share my platform with these beautiful women today. I have been trying to facilitate this link up for a long time, but y'all know me. I don't be remembering what I did yesterday. So we finally made it happen, and we have the one, the only, the beautiful Marah and Taz from Sistas Who Kill Podcast. Yay! Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Thank y'all for coming. I'm excited for this episode.
Yes, I said one thing that I wanted to make sure that me and Drea do this year is share our platform with other women in this space, because I feel like I hate when people say, take the mics away. Take the mics away. No, we need to get more.
Yeah.
It's not enough of us in this space, truly. Like, I don't feel like it's enough of us in this space. And then I hate when people complain about, this is what y'all talk about. I'm like, there's so many different genres of podcasting out here.
Y'all just not looking.
I
agree with that for sure. And then y'all are best friends. We love having besties on the couch.
Have we ever had besties on the couch?
I think we have before.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think. I guess I was thinking about cocktails. Yeah.
They not best friends.
They friends though.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I love having friends on the couch, shall I say.
We love Kiki and Medina. Let's just say that.
I love having friends on the couch, but y'all happen to be besties just like us.
Yeah.
So could y'all tell us a little bit about how y'all met and how y'all decided to start a true crime podcast?
How we met? Marah and I went to high school together.
Okay.
And
we didn't like each other because Taz was trying to steal my man.
Oh!
That's the story that she
Now
tells.
spill the tea.
I know that's right.
Taz was trying to steal her man, girl.
No. I had been going to that school since 9th grade, but Marah didn't get there until 10th grade. And in 9th grade, I had made a best friend.
Okay.
And then she started dating my best friend.
Ooh.
And I was trying to figure out who this girl was that was always hanging out with my man.
Okay.
We already have a year in the game. Like
Right.
This was
So y'all were platonic friends.
correct.
Okay.
Got
You didn't like him though.
No.
Not even a little bit.
I did, but I didn't want to.
This is your first time admitting this.
Well, I don't know that you've ever asked me, but I think there's always probably there was something there, but I never wanted to go there because I didn't want to ruin the friendship.
I love to ruin the friendship.
And
that's
that
very
he
noble
ruined the
of
friendship
you.
on his own.
Right, and then ruins the friendship on his own, so.
Okay.
It's so we weren't friends at first, but high school, like I was kind of the new kid on the block. I made some friends that actually weren't really cool, and it was a lot of drama. And then one day, Taz came up to me when we were in class together. She said, "I know we're not cool like that, but them girls is not your friends.
Yeah.
They are talking about you right now." And I was like, "What?" And she was like,
We love a real.
She was like, "I know we not cool, but like."
I was like, I know your business, and I shouldn't.
She's like, yeah, she was like, "I know your business, and I should not, because we not cool."
Right.
And then ever since then, I was like, "You a real." So
I love
cool
that.
ever since.
Okay. So what made y'all get into like the true crime stuff?
I think Marah has been telling me we need to start a podcast.
Okay.
Since probably 2014.
So you the legs.
Yeah.
She was like, we need to start a podcast.
I think we're interested.
He's so funny, bitch.
I was like, we're so interested. Like, we be on the phone for hours. People should pay to hear this.
Right. Yeah. This needs to be documented.
Well, we couldn't find it, and then a pandemic hit, and Marah was door dashing, and she was listening to a lot of true crime while door dashing, like podcasts, and I was watching documentaries like Unabomber, everything. And so, usually during the day you talk about what you've been doing, but ain't nobody doing nothing in the pandemic.
Right.
So we was talking about, this the case I heard, and then we was like, you know what? This is it.
Yeah.
This is the podcast.
So let me ask y'all this, because I'm deep in the true crime streets, okay? But so what I've realized being a fan of like true crime stuff is that you really have to be careful on how you report these stories, because you have to remember, although it is entertainment for some people, they're still victims. They're still families. So how do y'all go about like choosing which stories to talk about, which ones to not? When do you know to kind of like, you can laugh and make a joke, when not? Like, how do y'all get in that territory?
I think we toe the line about when to laugh and when not. And I think we do that really well. But we've made mistakes. Like, we've talked about a case where it was too soon and somebody reached out and was like, hey, so we just put them in the ground.
Wow.
Can you not tell this story? And I think because we were so caught up in the fact that like it's a hot story, everybody's talking about it on TikTok right now, we need to tell this story. We've definitely made those mistakes. And also, all of our cases are about Black women.
Right.
And so it's very hard because the media does not represent Black women in the best light, no matter what.
Right.
So it takes a lot for us to take the information that's available and then kind of pick apart what part is the media sensationalizing, which part is like her real life. So, yeah.
Have y'all ever like delete an episode or something because like it was just becoming too much drama around it or anything?
I don't think anything's ever became too much drama.
Right.
The next week, another episode drop.
Yeah, that's how we be feeling too. They be like, they'll forget about it, y'all.
No, we done deleted the episode before.
But that was in the beginning. Okay.
We had to delete some shit a few times.
Right. Okay, so y'all have been doing the podcast since what?
2021.
2021. So do y'all feel like being Black women in this space, are there a lot of other Black people in the true crime genre?
Absolutely.
There is?
There are.
I say majority of our fan base is Black women.
Really?
And so they listen to other podcasts that represent them.
Okay.
I dare say we're one of the larger ones, but
y'all
like,
are, for sure.
Yeah.
But they definitely exist. Like, there are some smaller ones that do cases that we haven't done yet that I still listen to them and use them as sources. So they exist. But I think everybody's style is different. Everybody's research is different. Some people just watch For My Man and they report just For My Man. Taz and I take a lot of time to deep dive and pull records and interview people if they're available, read books if they're available. So everybody's research and their style is different.
Right.
Yeah.
So is there a lot of drama in the true crime podcast world? Like, oh, they got this from my podcast and they stole this information. Because in our podcast genre, it's always people beefed up and fighting.
I wouldn't say a lot, but I'm not going to say that it's never happened.
Right.
Like, I would say even...
We've had to set the record straight once or twice.
A couple of weeks ago, somebody in the discussion group made a comment saying, oh, not my two favorite Black true crime podcasts doing the same case in the same week.
Oh.
And she was like, that was disappointing, but I'm going to listen anyways. Bro, I was kind of feeling away about it.
Listen, this is what I said. We have so much going on and we do so much research. I promise you, I'm not calling the next podcast and saying, hey, what episode are you dropping this week?
Right.
Oh, yeah, we're thinking about dropping this one too. And then, no shade, no tea. That's not a podcast that I listen to because I listen to a lot of true crime as well. I said, I was like, I pulled up their episode. Their episode's an hour. Ours is 2. It took us 3 weeks to research this episode where it usually takes us a week to research. I was like, leave me alone.
Right.
And then we've had some times where fans of 2 different podcasts will try to put us against each other. So we've had somebody call us up and be like, so we heard that in your discussion group, your fans are saying this and you're allowing them to say this. And I was like, hold on, wait.
Oh, it be going down.
I promise I don't. I'm not finna police grown folks.
Yeah.
Promise I'm not. So it's been drama, but
I can't say it's frequent.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not
It doesn't
frequent.
have-
Okay.
Everybody tries to stay in their own lane.
Right.
How do y'all stop yourselves from becoming paranoid? Because that's my thing with true crime. I feel like if I watch it all the time, I start to become paranoid, and I feel like people are just out to get me. Like, I don't even want to leave the house.
Keep that strap on you, girl.
Yes.
Keep that strap.
Girl, but exactly. So it's like with y'all doing all of this research and watching so many documentaries, reading so many books all the time, how do you stop yourself from not being paranoid every time you leave your house?
Keep that strap.
She like, no, bitch, I was for real. Keep that strap.
I don't know. I feel like, and my sisters, like, there's one sister I have to ask permission to tell her about a case, like, just to see if she can hold it. The other one would be like, I don't know how you do this scary stuff. And I was like, it's not scary. It's just a story.
Yeah.
Like, it don't
affect you much.
No.
But it happened though.
Yeah.
It would be different if it was fiction, but it's like, no, this shit really be happening
The
in these
scariest
streets.
parts of the thing are the cases where they unalive somebody random.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I can keep myself out of situations. Like I'm going to make sure that my insurance policies are in people that I really trust. I'm going to make sure that my friends around me are people that I can really trust. If I feel like I'm getting into a heated situation, I'm going to probably just go to the car and get away from it. But it's the scary ones are definitely the people that you don't know. And I don't know.
You know what else I think? I think I've always been scared of something. Like, my biggest fear growing up was being kidnapped. Like,
Girl, me too.
like, I used to sleep in the middle of my sisters, so if they came from either side, they would get somebody first.
Not you were setting them up.
Yeah. I feel like as soon as I became self-aware, there was a fear of mine too.
Yeah.
All the time. So I feel like I've always had this mindset. So I don't feel like paranoia. Like, when the cases, I'm already on the lookout.
But I think it was a good point in saying, like, most of the cases, though, because I used to be that way too. Like, oh my gosh, this is scaring me. But most of the cases it's by loved ones. It's by people that they know. You know what I'm saying? Like, random crimes do happen.
Absolutely.
But most of the time when we're hearing these horrific stories of things happening to people, it's by somebody that they know. So I think that's
terrifying.
You know, that's a good point that you made. You're making sure that you're surrounded by, you know, good people that you know. I mean, obviously these people didn't know that, you know, their best friend or their husband was a murderer or something like that. But that's what I think, like, kind of doesn't make me so paranoid when I deep dive into these stories. And I think sometimes, too, it helps me kind of like, okay, this is a red flag, so I can notice this in somebody. Like, if you acting a little funny, you all of a sudden talking about
Need
insurance.
to watch your ass. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something going down. What's going down?
No, yeah, you're right. Because I was definitely doing my research and I was looking at y'all page and you was talking about some lady, this is like from a year ago.
Okay.
She was talking about some lady named Willa or something like that. And she killed that old white man. And I'm like, she was really staking the place. Like, she was really preying on this man. She did not know him. She didn't know nothing about him. Found out he had a whole bunch of money. And then you just decided, I'm just going to kidnap this man and unalive him.
But you know what? That man was paranoid. And that man was like, no, because he was a little old man. He was like, this woman is staking my house.
Yeah.
And nobody was listening to him. And that man was trying to tell people. And it was because he had like a pen pal that he wrote to, that he sent, because you know old white men send emails to their pen pals. And they stopped getting their pen pal letters and they started knowing to look for him. And he was saying, there's this lady that just keeps popping up in my house and I don't know.
And he was on to something too, because that bitch took him out the game.
The first story I saw that y'all had that I really fell in love with y'all was, what's that lady name? She was the wife of the NBA, Shara Robinson.
Shara Wright Robinson.
Yes. That was like, because I don't remember when it happened, because obviously I was a teeny tot. But I just remember the story just being like everywhere. And it was just so like insane. And I'll say, and now I do have a question, because you said it takes, because y'all got really into some details. And I think one thing about these true crime stories, especially when they're popular, is we're pretty much hearing the same story over and over and over again. Like, I'm sorry, I don't need to hear about JonBenet Ramsey anymore.
We done heard it all.
We have heard every single version, every single conspiracy theory. So what approach do y'all take when it's a story that's so big that people have been talking about, and you can like, okay, well, we have something different to offer y'all with this story, especially with a story like Shira?
Sometimes I think it's sheer like naivete. Like, I don't really know much about sports ball, so like I honestly didn't know that story as much. So I kind of went into it very curious. So and that helps us have a different perspective. We have a couple of cases like that are super popular that some I've heard of before, and then some of them I'm fresh to it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I have all of this information, and so I can consume it. And that week I'm dedicated to consuming it. But usually it's just having a clear mind going into it.
I think it's also just knowing that even if somebody's heard the case, they've never heard it how we tell it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we approached this, when we were building the format for the show, I was like, I want it to be these phone conversations. So nobody is telling it this relaxed. Nobody is going off on tangents where they're relating and you start to sympathize with them. Nobody's telling it in that perspective. So I think even if we did tell John Benet Ramsey, we'd have that other perspective that nobody else is talking about or afraid to mention because we're towing closer to that line.
Right.
You know, because we're being more relaxed about it.
Right.
Like if we told that case, I know I'd be like, and we all know that it was the brother. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And we'd go into it a little bit different. And everybody usually, like a lot of true crime cases or storytellers, black, white, indifferent, whatever, they usually start with, and we open a scene and it's a murder. Now we're gonna go back, and we're like, no, let's start with her. Let's tell her entire
Let's
life.
really get to know her before we start to judge her. You know,
before we get to the crime. So by the time we get to the crime, you're either like, she was set up from the start, or it's like, this bitch really just decided.
She had it made and threw it all away.
So y'all start from the beginning with it.
And another thing that I feel like really separates y'all too is like how y'all highlight the difference between how black women and white women are treated with the justice system. Because I feel like that's something that a lot of other podcasts don't do in the true crime space.
Yeah.
I feel like, to piggyback, because I remember, like, of course, everybody know the what's her name, Jodi Arias story, and I mean, everybody knew she was a monster and XYZ. But it's like when she went in jail, now she's like writing books. Her books be sold out. Like, men be writing her, like, and they just sensationalize it like she's a celebrity.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to me because it's never, and I'm not saying that a black woman deserves that, because at the end of the day, they're still, murderers.
But it happened with so many white people, like Ted Bundy.
Yes. It's like they get turned into like Beyonce and Jay-Z or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you don't
the
see
Menendez brothers.
Yes.
You don't see that with black women. Like,
right.
We're trying to research a case right now, and she has a book. And I can find the title of the book. I can see the cover of the book. I cannot find that book anywhere. And it's like, but I can find any white murderess's book on Amazon, but I can't find her book anywhere. And I'm like, I want to hear her side of the story so that I can properly tell the story or get details that don't exist. And it's very, very difficult.
Yeah. The girl, I think her name was Centoya Brown, when she had killed that guy, and everybody was just like, she needs to be in jail. At the end of the day, she killed somebody, but it was like, she was a victim.
Yeah, she was being trafficked.
Like 100% a victim. But then you look on the other side of, what was the lady's name? I'm really bad with names.
So are we.
The movie Monster, that Charlize Theron.
What was her name? I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the lady name either.
Like, Google the movie Monster, see what the lady name was about. But she had basically the same story.
Yeah.
And I mean, people were protesting. They were up in arms about, her getting, being arrested, and she had killed multiple men. It was like she was on the run. What's her name, Shay?
It was
Eileen Wuornos.
Yeah.
That's her name, Eileen Wuornos. But I feel like they kind of had the same story, and it was just like everybody was on her side, like, oh, she's a victim, this and that. But it's like, in her story, after a while, she started hunting these men.
Yeah.
She was hunting them, literally, and people were still protesting her. And in Centoya's case, she was literally defending herself. So I always think it's crazy how black women are treated versus, white women in these stories. But that kind of brings us to our first topic that we want to talk about today, because we want to talk about like when black women go missing. So we want to talk about it from more of a victim standpoint. It's kind of like, who cares? I think this was a point that was brought up recently with the Gabby Petito story. I mean, it was everywhere. You couldn't get on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. And it's so many Black women that's their same story. You know, they go missing due to their partner or somebody, their father or whatever, mother, anything. And they call it the missing white woman syndrome. Like, is it real? Do y'all think media is finally starting to change? Or is it kind of still the same when it comes to white women victims versus Black women?
It's absolutely real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think it takes so much effort to even try and get people to care about Black stories in general, and especially Black girls. There's always a reason to turn it on their fault. They're over-sexualized at a young age because their bodies develop faster, so then it turns to them being grown, or the boy was a thug. Like, there's always an excuse to why the Black person doesn't deserve justice. And white people always kind of get that benefit of the doubt. Like, oh, well, he just needs mental issues. He needs help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nobody's offering that help or those resources to the Black people or even that sympathy. And so it's absolutely a thing.
And I know this might be a little, y'all gonna be, but I think that's the same thing with R. Kelly.
What?
The fact that people are just
Letting
always
him
like,
get away
free
with
him. His music is just too good.
Letting him
Y'all
get
gonna
away
sit
with
up
it.
here and say that R. Kelly not at the end of the day, look at his crimes.
Yeah.
I cannot separate the art from the artist. I can't do that.
I can, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just because, like for example, Cynthia Erivo. Okay, y'all feel some way because she took that lady from that other lady. Whatever. That ain't, you know.
I got other problems with Cynthia Erivo.
That's what
But
I'm
right,
saying. I think people have a lot of
there's
other
one
problem. I'm
issues with
confusing
her
that word.
outside of her taking
Well,
that
yeah,
lady.
but I'm just using that for the people who use that for an example, not her African American comments. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, or even for Ariana Grande, if people don't like stuff like that, is like, okay, whatever. But if it's like something as serious as the crimes that R. Kelly did,
That hurt
you can't-
people.
Yeah, that literally has victims, women crying and saying how this has affected their entire lives. And it's always like she said, oh, they were fast. They went out looking for him. And
You know, that the R. Kelly case is honestly so triggering for me because he knew exactly, he had a victim profile. Just like a murderer. He was looking for young Black women that were estranged from their families that wanted to have a musical career.
right.
Yeah.
And I just think about myself, like, I was estranged from my family, fresh into college, at a HBCU, really wanted to get my career off the ground. And I'm like, wow, like, I fit his victim profile. Like, that's the one where it's like, that one hit so close to home that I think I watched the first documentary. When the other ones came out, I was like, I just literally can't. Because people don't realize that just because it's not murder doesn't mean that it wasn't a crime.
Right.
It's a serious crime. So
Yeah,
It's hard.
It's very cringy online when people get online and they like, well, I don't care what R. Kelly did. I'm still gonna listen to his music. You sound crazy as fuck, because if this was your daughter, your niece, your sister, you would be raising hell.
Yeah.
But because it doesn't affect you, you don't care. Oh, let's step in the name of love.
Right.
Like, no.
Yeah. So I think every now and then we do have a case that kind of, the case of Naziah Harris.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too.
Yeah, because that's what I was really like. I had got so caught up in this case in January of this year. So Naziah, if y'all don't know, Naziah Harris was a 13-year-old girl who was allegedly murdered by her aunt's boyfriend, and they had a sexual relationship between them two. She had allegedly gotten pregnant. He found out, and
She went missing.
she went missing. And I think sometimes, I do like the fact, I feel like TikTok has kind of changed things a little bit. A little bit.
okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like a lot of times these stories, like, I'm not gonna lie, did I turn on the TV and see Naziah's story? No. But I was able to get on TikTok because now we are in a time where people don't really go to, like, we don't have like the Nancy Grace anymore. Nancy Grace, every time you turned on the TV, she was on, what was that lady name that killed her daughter?
Jody.
Not Jody. I can't remember her name, Casey, but her daughter was
Oh,
Casey.
yeah.
Yep.
But she was on her ass every day without letting up. We don't really have that anymore. So I can say it's a lot of TikTok creators who do true crime and they specifically focus on Black victims, especially young Black girl victims. So I feel like TikTok really helped get her story out there. And that's why a lot of people started talking about it. And it ended up being on court TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So do y'all kind of feel like TikTok helps or hinders things?
I would say I think TikTok is it's the Google. It's the video Google.
Yeah.
But like it definitely gives a way for people to push their stuff out there in a much bigger sense than we had the ability to do in the 90s, even the early 2000s. Like MySpace, even if you make a post, it's only going to your friends. TikTok has the opportunity to go viral and
Right.
like thousands and stuff. So it's definitely a resource
Yeah.
we didn't have back then.
I mean, I feel like we have to put it out there because if we don't, nobody else is. I remember I was reading an article. This was actually a few years ago, so the numbers have probably changed now. But I remember I was reading an article and it said like 300,000 women are missing in the United States, and 30% of them are Black women. But we only make up 14% of the population. That's really insane if you think about it.
That's
And
some
so
crazy
a
numbers.
lot of these local governments and like states have to make up their own rules. They have to make up stuff like the Ebony Alert because the federal government is doing nothing to help find these Black missing women and girls.
I've never heard of the Ebony Alert.
Yeah, it's similar to
The Amber Alert.
the Amber Alert, but for Black women. and Black
I
kids.
never knew
Yeah.
that was a thing.
And the thing is, since the federal government isn't doing it, like, it's state by state. Some states don't care.
Right.
They do not care. They don't care if you were a victim. They don't care if you're missing. They do
Right.
not care. They don't care unless you have the money to give to them.
Mm.
And some states they have the people involved that are doing, but a lot of these red states still do not care. And
Yeah.
they won't lift a finger for you.
So what do y'all think like are the best ways that like say, has anybody ever reached out to y'all like, hey, this is what's going on. Can y'all report on this so I can get my story out there of what's going on? How do y'all handle stuff like that?
I don't think we've handled it yet because right now we cover finished cases.
Right, okay.
We tell the case from beginning to end. So for somebody to say, can you tell this story? It doesn't necessarily fit our format. But I do like to if somebody comes to me and says, hey, bring awareness to this Black girl missing, I'd be like, you should go to Black Girl Gone where she's highlighting, she's got people focusing on Black girl missing, and that's like a better platform for you to use. You know what I mean?
Sorry,
That's
y'all.
good to know that there are platforms out there like
Yeah.
people are doing that as well.
And even in our discussion group, we have like 25,000 people in there, and all they do is discuss true crime. So they're
wow.
constantly keeping up with cases.
They'll even post for each other. There was a time where somebody's family member went missing, and they found them.
My family.
Oh,
member.
was it you?
Your family member went missing?
One of my little cousins went missing in Texas, and so I was just like, I have this platform. My little cousin is missing. So
Oh my
Yeah.
I
gosh.
posted about him, and then one of our fans reached out to one of her friends that lived in Texas in Dallas, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen him," and was able to reach out. So I was able to reach out to my aunt that lived in there, in Dallas. So they all were able to reunite and find him. So yeah, we found him.
Oh, wow.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lex P.
And it's your girl, Dre Nicole.
And if you have bad credit or no credit, we're going to show you how to get better credit.
Yes, y'all. Kickoff is an app that's on the App Store, and it's the #1 credit building app. If your credit score is under 600 points, you could jump like 28 points in the first month of using Kickoff by just making on-time payments.
Yes, and it's only $5 a month. But if you sign up with us, your first month is only going to be $1. So what you're going to do is go to getkickoff.com/poorminds. That's getkickoff.com/poorminds and sign up today. Get your credit together.
Period.
Building credit can happen faster than you expect with Kickoff. Don't wait. Get your first month for just $1 at getkickoff.com/poorminds. That's kickoff without the C. Get 80% off at getkickoff.com/poorminds. Must sign up via getkickoff.com/poorminds to activate offer. Offer applies to new customers first month only. Subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions may apply. Point stat based on Equifax Vantage Score 3.0 changes for Kickoff users starting under 600 who made their first one-time payment between January 2021 and March 2024. Payment and credit activity outside Kickoff can have an impact on your credit. Individual results may vary.
Guys ready?
Yeah. I'm Dre Nicole.
And I'm Lex P.
And together we are Travel Queens.
From Charleston to the streets of Cartagena, we're eating good.
That's up my alley.
Drinking good.
Cheers. And experiencing the beauty of different cultures. It's gonna be fun. So we're taking you to incredible destinations with a special focus on the Black experience.
Two queens, one glow, endless possibilities. Travel Queens, series premiere Wednesday, April 23rd at 8 on
I
BET.
feel like, too, I looked on Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's a whole true crime section. When I tell y'all, there is no stories about Black women on there.
No.
Oh, yeah, no.
None. Like, I'm scrolling. They have all these American Murder, American Mystery, and all these, you know, women who are not, and like I said, I'm not taking away from their stories because at the end of the day, we're still women and we're still victims.
Right.
But I did not see, I think the only story that I saw, I should have wrote down these people's names, but I didn't know I was going to be bringing up. What was the girl's name? She has a short film on Netflix. It was like in the 80s or 90s, and she was in LA, and she was going to get like a soda out of the store, and the Chinese
Oh, her
owner-
anniversary just came up.
Yes.
The anniversary of her death just came up.
Yes, and he basically shot her because he thought she was stealing, but shot her at like point blank range, like right in her face.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I'm sorry, I can't think of her name right now, but that's like the only story that I've seen on Netflix.
And I always ask myself why. And I think part of it is the lack of coverage. Like, people
Right.
just don't care. The government entities don't care. And I think another part of it is that it's really fun on these white true crime podcasts because you have a lot of witnesses. Black folks don't want to talk to the TV about their crimes or their cousins' crimes or their mama's crimes. And I think that it's something in the culture that we have, which I think helps us in some ways, but it also hinders us in other ways. Like, we did a
Because you
case.
snitching if you say
I was just
Right.
about to say that. I'm sorry, I just want to say her name. I just Googled it. It's Latasha Harlins. I just wanted to say her name just so, you know.
We did a case in in St. Louis. And somebody was like, dang, y'all finally did a case in St. Louis. Like, there's always crimes. And I was like, yeah, but all the crimes are gang related. And this crime, somebody killed somebody because somebody was a witness to this crime. And it was because of, the reason that it came out is because people were snitching. Nobody wants to tell the crimes because nobody wants to end up being the next victim.
Right.
Yep.
So I guess the question is, how do we bring light to these stories while also bringing peace to the community? Because people don't want to talk.
Right. Are y'all afraid to tell stories like that when it is like gang-related stuff? Or do y'all...
Stay strapped up.
That's her answer to everything. I keep that strap on me.
Because I'm not gonna lie, it be sometimes like I'll deep dive into stuff and like, because I had this whole like moment where I was like really deep into like all the Chicago
my God.
drama.
Oh, yeah. we
It
had
was
no
just
cases.
so
I
interesting.
think the Chicago one we did KI, and I think that's the closest
my
that
God.
we think.
And people were like,
They
that
was like,
my
I don't know if
first
y'all should be
viral video.
covering this story.
That little girl was something else.
That was
I had
crazy.
deep dive, and I mean, I was just glued.
Yeah.
I mean, I was Googling.
She
and
had me
watching.
Googling and we was watching it together.
It was so good, but
It's so in depth though.
is.
so much.
It
And like
is.
when we covered that case, I had to get a board. And I was writing,
Yes.
okay, so he mad at him for this. So then he retaliated to them. So that was
Yeah.
her cousin. So now she in it. And it's
And now
crazy.
they smoking on somebody in the
Right.
in the lyrics because he died 10 years ago.
So then he retaliated with this rap diss and
Oh
this
my
rap
God,
and they
it be so much.
and it's so alarming how young they are.
young. They be like 12 on the block.
Yes.
Wetting that block up.
12 and already got a couple bodies. And I'm like, I didn't even know what that meant.
At 12?
I was in
12.
my private school.
Girl,
But I said that because I remember I was talking about it on the show for a little bit, and it was people in the comments like, Lex, keep it cute.
Yeah.
Watch out. You making jokes. I'm like, I am from Orange, Texas.
I don't want no
I don't want
smoke.
no, baby. I never talk. But you know, it's crazy about that stuff is that it's still going on. Like,
Yeah.
so for stuff like that, that's why I said I tread lightly on certain things. So do y'all feel like y'all have to tread lightly on like certain stories that y'all do, or y'all just be like, I don't care. Look, we just reporting these stories.
most of them weren't gang related. I feel like the only reason, one, when you hear a lot about a gang related body, it's not usually Black women. It's usually Black men.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that narrows our pool a lot. And I think this one was also sensationalized. There's a lot of coverage out there already. And so we just going to like these people said that, and these people trying to be careful about it. But I don't know that we necessarily get the opportunity to even dive into that to tread lightly.
Because I know they was in them comments with that KI story. Because
Yeah.
ooh.
That was a crazy.
Because then it got with King Von in that story too. I said, oh, this tea is too hot.
But then I felt like with King Von being a part of it, that's what sensationalized it and made it more of a mainstream topic to talk about.
Right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
why people cared about it even more.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
Ty. So what we drinking today, girl? Because this is very good and refreshing.
I was over here looking up some of these.
Two more weeks.
I'm weak.
That's
No, Drea. You holding on strong, girl.
Damn, I'm on day 55.
Congratulations.
I know that's
months,
right.
couple more months.
You got a couple more months.
So this cocktail or mocktail. This one is going to be called Killing Me Softly.
Oh,
all right?
Lord have mercy.
So for this one, you can add any spirit of choice, or you can rock it as a mocktail like me and Drea. And we have some honey ginseng green tea.
And Marah.
I'm sorry. Yes, please, yes. We have some.
Okay.
Girl is drinking.
We are protecting our
Let me
children.
say that again. So this is the Killing Me Softly. You can have any spirit of choice or rock it as a mocktail as Mariah, myself, Drea over here, okay? We sipping it softly, all right? This one has some honey ginseng. This one has some honey ginseng tea, some green tea in there, some basil, some honeycomb, a little bit of lemon, and then I made an actual basil honey for it as well, so you get a little bit of that herb, and then we topped it off with a little bit of a ginger beer. The garnish, we have a beautiful honeycomb in there, and then some fresh basil leaves. Perfect for spring, perfect for the girls out there. So this is the Killing Me Softly. Cheers, y'all.
Delicious,
Ooh,
baby.
it's delicious. Is this a new hairstyle?
Yeah.
I like it.
Cute. I love
Got a
the
little-
curls.
Yeah, it looks really natural.
Thank you. I learned to blend in my little legs.
Yeah, it looks
'Cause,
really
honey,
good.
I went
like
outside
it.
the other day. I was bogus.
And I love the red lip too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into topic number 2. So for topic number 2, I thought this would be a funny topic. Okay. I really wanted to talk about love behind bars and how like so many women fall in love with men that are incarcerated. And a lot of the time when you see, at least this is my opinion, I think that a lot of the time women go for men that are incarcerated because they feel like, oh, he gonna be loyal to me. He don't have no options. He don't have no choices. And that's usually the reason why they want to date them in the first place. Now, personally,
That is a lie.
go ahead, girl, because I got
they
something
got
to say
them
about that too.
options.
I think that's a lie too.
I think he will be in there and he ain't got nothing to do but write several different women all day. So, no.
Selling dreams. What you think?
I had an ex, and my ex's mama's boyfriend was in jail.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that took a while. And while we were in college, she was getting artwork from her ex's mama's boyfriend that he made out of trash bags because he was so bored and had nothing else to do. And I also think that they cheating. They cheat, and it's crazy to me
Like
because what
with
can he
people
do?
in there?
I mean,
That too.
You done seen the jail shows and they be sending the notes through the toilets?
They were cheating with people in there,
Yes.
especially if you just in jail and you ain't made it to prison. You can definitely, the women are right on the other side.
Yeah.
But I personally don't understand why you would do that because like he's not working. You're putting money on his books. Like sometimes to talk to him, like how do y'all even meet? Like you got to call through his mama or something.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's not for me.
Same. But
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, because I have somebody that I know personally. I have a family member. They were in jail for a really long time, and then they got married while they were in jail, and still married now. Ended up getting out of jail, still married, but they had a baby on the way, not by their wife.
Oh,
So that's why I'm like, when people are saying, oh, I think that they're going to be loyal to me and they don't have options. No, baby, they're going to find options, especially once they get out.
they're gonna find options.
Once they're back outside, it's a plethora of options.
Yeah.
Because they're not even used to seeing women all the time. They're not even used to having this much access. So it's plenty of options, and especially if they fine.
Right.
I have a
'Cause
rule, like-
sometimes prison niggas be fine now.
I mean, my family
They
member
got
is
nothing else
fine.
to
He's
do but to work
attractive.
out.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay. He is.
Sweet Jesus.
I had an ex that went to jail. On our show, he's called Redacted Number 1. And
Redacted number one. I love that.
he went to jail like my sophomore year of college, and we weren't together, but like we were always very close. And so I remember his mom was like, "Hey, redacted number one got locked up. I put you on his list so he can call you." And I was just like, "Oh, for what? For burglary? When I know y'all got money?" So I stopped answering his phone calls. All of a sudden, he started having conversation with another girl that it was his friend's girlfriend at one point, and her and I never liked each other, but now they're married. Ooh. And they live happily ever after. So I guess jail love is for those who it's for, but it was not for me.
I mean, it worked out for some people. I personally used to love watching Love After Lockup.
That's what we were just talking about before we started filming.
Yeah, I used to love that show. So, I mean, it worked for some people.
Now, I do got a horror story now, y'all.
What?
I seen this on TikTok last night.
What happened?
I had to Google her name because I don't like not saying people's names. So there was a woman, 62 years old. Her name is Stephanie Brinson. Her husband has been in jail since like the 90s. She went to visit him, conjugal visit. So when they do these conjugal visits, they get like 30 to 40 hours in these like apartment style things.
Hours?
Yeah, they can stay there for like a whole day, you know, if you're married. So I mean, this is her husband. She went to visit that man. He's like, "Hey, my wife passed out, you know, something's going on." So they're like, "Oh my gosh, you know, and she passed away." They don't know. They did an autopsy. That man strangled her.
Why?
Because he's a murderer, and that's what they do.
Points was made.
And it's not
funny.
It's not funny,
It's
but
not. But this is the thing, and I'm not blaming her, but this is the thing. I was talking to my homegirl this morning. I feel like right now, and I'm bringing this back to relationships. I know y'all gonna be like, "Lex, please be for real." But this is why I just feel for my Black women so bad. Like, we are the highest demographic who are unmarried, right? And I feel like sometimes we just get so desperate for companionship. Because why are you, as a free woman, dedicating, and not just her, not just Stephanie, just any woman, why you are free. Why are you dedicating something? And he wasn't getting out. He was sentenced to life. He can't even go to trial for her murder because he's already serving life.
But how do y'all feel about, okay, so murderer is off limits. But how do you feel about somebody you know that's in the feds? Like, they did a little wire fraud, little credit card fraud.
Now I don't know if you have legit. Now I don't know if you have legit money when you come out. Like,
If there's
you ain't got nothing on your resume but wire fraud. When you come out, how you gonna pay for my lifestyle?
Points.
Some more wire fraud.
some more wire
This time
fraud.
he just not gonna get caught.
Yeah.
Oh,
He done smarted
I'm
up.
gonna get in trouble for telling this story. I hope not. But I had a guy I used to date a long time ago, and he was scamming. Them pieces was hitting. Life was grand, okay?
I've had me a scammer or two in my
Yeah,
day.
but it was like he had gotten some trouble, and they froze all his accounts. They took everything from him. And it was like right before he went in, he was like, "You know, I really wanted to make this work with us." And I was like,
You the only one.
Lost your appeal.
"You ain't got, they took all your Rolexes?" I'm not holding it down.
Yeah,
I'm just not a hold it down type of woman. Like I said, I'm
Me
free.
either.
I don't commit crimes.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, and let me say this, it's not only Black women who do this, obviously.
No.
You know, we're just talking about Black women because we are Black women. But I do think that a lot of that comes with the fear of loneliness. I think the fear of loneliness gets us into a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you would be so much more happier if you just learned to find peace in being alone.
That community pressure is still on specifically Black women.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
That even, I know women that haven't been to church in years that still are under church pressure. And I think it almost makes you feel like if I'm not doing this, then I'm dishonoring my family.
Right.
If I'm not married before I get pregnant, if I'm not financially stable, if I'm not cooking every night, if I'm not providing not having a man that provides, then I'm doing a disservice to my entire family, my entire community. And I feel like that pressure is so antiquated, but it's still so real, especially in the South.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, you have to realize, like, every time we post a clip and we speak our minds, oh, I want, and you see why they're single. You see, listen, let me tell everybody out there, being single is not a diss. It is not a diss, especially when you know who you are and you know what you want out of life. I know exactly what I want in a partner. If I don't get that, I'm okay with being alone. It's not the end of the world. And I'm not finna go talk to Day in jail just so I can say I have a husband.
For sure. And I think it gets worse too, as obviously as you get older. Because I do feel like a lot of the time when you watch these shows like Love After Lockup and stuff, a lot of the people on the show be like older women a lot of the time. Because we talked about this on the episode of Poor Minds, but the desperation of getting in your 30s, of being in your 30s. I think it's something about when you hit 30, mid-30s, you just like, oh, I don't have the baby yet. I don't have the husband yet. I don't have the ring yet. What am I going to do? And then you just end up settling for bullshit.
I'll be 40 in 4 years. I don't care.
Girl, you were saying that like it's going to be 4 months.
Right. But I'm saying, but if you put that in perspective, 4 years, we be like, oh, it's so long.
Yeah.
Time flies. I'm going to be 40 before I know it. But when I tell you, I don't care. I do not care about like, okay, if it's supposed to happen for me, my faith is stronger than my doubt. So whatever is for me, it's always going to be in my lap. So I know we're getting a little off topic like we do per usual. But I think it's a little different situation. Like if you're married and your husband does something and he ends up in jail, maybe a little wire fraud, a little something, it's not necessarily something that I would per se maybe deal with. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. But I can understand maybe women like, okay, he's going to jail. Like, what's her name? Yandy and Mendici. Why did Mendici go to jail? Was it fraud or was it?
I think it was for a little.
Was it fraud or was it like a gun? Because you know they in New York.
I thought it was a little fraud.
Was it a little fraud?
I don't want to misspeak.
Allegedly, it meant DC's, because
allegedly,
please don't come over here. I was in your DMs, or Yandy, whoever was in your DMs. That was me, honey. Wipe your tears. But anyways.
But yeah, he wasn't in there that long. I think he was in there for like maybe 2 years.
That's still a long
2 years. Cocaine and heroin.
Oh, we was all
bricks. All white bricks.
A little fraud would have been a little better than that.
Is he cleaning his money properly? Like, am I gonna be set for 2 years?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, they opening restaurants and
people
shit.
clean their money.
They do. I need me a ghost St. Patrick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I understand Yandy. I can understand Yandy waiting 2 years. That's a little different. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you literally, they have whole websites where like you can find men who are in
specifically.
You can find women too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just did a case and the girl is in prison for the rest of her life and she has a man. They fell in love. They met in a Christian group. And even though she has life in prison without the possibility of parole, she is hoping.
She did something real bad.
Murder.
Of course. It's the only time you don't get no parole.
She is hoping to get out so that she can actually get married to this man that he looks like an old deacon.
Oh, my goodness.
But, I mean, the men do it too. So,
yeah.
I mean, men get desperate just like
Yeah, they definitely do. They 100% do. Because
I think it's across the board for sure.
You see it on Love After Lockup. There be them old men that be dating the young girls that went to jail for like robbery or something. And they be running it up. A lot of no shade to the city girls, but a lot of the city girls are in jail. The city girls type girls, from scamming, robbing,
They was running it up.
Swiping people cards when they not supposed to and doing all that. But they go to jail and they find these men who are still willing to give them a chance.
Were y'all scared? Like with the scammer? Like what if y'all was in Louis and like he just bought you a purse and he swipes the card and what if this card has an alert on it and they say, please stay here. And now you're stuck with him in the store with your Louis and your Chanel, but they about to take you too.
Girl,
you'll get out.
Let me tell you something about me. I don't care about snitching. Because I damn sure would have been like, I ain't know nothing about that. This ain't got nothing to do with me. But something like that never happened to me before. But I was dating this guy back in the day when I was probably like 24. And he was a scammer. And we had went to a club. He had got a section, bought like 5 bottles. Like the tab was like $1,500.
Having a good time.
They come out, the waitress come out. It's time for him to pay the tab. Cars, the pieces is not hitting. He goes through like 4 or 5 cards. Pieces is still not hitting. And I'm like, I hope you're not looking at me because I'm not about to pay this shit. I'm about to dip on your ass.
I ordered an orange juice.
Girl, luckily though, he ended up finally, like he was with a few of his friends and one of his friends had a little piece that hit. But yeah, I definitely done seen it happen.
I had a situation happen to me. I just told this story on Scam Goddess. Shout out to Lacey. I was dating this guy, and he's not even a scammer, okay? Mm-hmm. He is a very wealthy guy from his business. Like, and I know exactly what he does because he actually has helped me with my business. Mm-hmm. So, but what he did was he had a little connect, what he thought it was a connect on flights. Mm-hmm. And that person was the scammer. So we had went on a trip, and he was just so pressed to fly on American. And I'm like, well, I like to fly Delta. But
I feel like I remember.
Yes, but I'm like, whatever. Like, oh, why are you so pressed to fly American? So we flew American, first class, baby. Went to a beautiful resort, had a wonderful time. Came back first class, okay? This is my man. I'm in love. Oh, baby. I'm posting in my close friends like, this is the one. You know what I'm saying? He icy the whole trip. I'm like, oh, it's so cold in Mexico. With all his ice, baby. I'm having the time of my life. Then I get on Facebook, because, you know, obviously, my government name is not Lex P. So I get on my Facebook, my real Facebook that my friends and family are on. I have this message and they're like, hey, they say my full government name, middle name too. You took a flight to such and such Mexico on this date with, he said his full name, and you used my miles. I need to know how you got my account and how you, girl, I must have deleted him and blocked him so quick. I said, I was so mad. I was so mad because the thing is, you are literally wealthy. Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? And that's what I don't understand. There's a lot of people that have money that like to steal. There's lots of people that have money that like to rob people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why not make it honest? Like, it's so fun to make it honest.
I was gonna say maybe it's greed, but no, some people just love the thrill.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think he was being cheap.
Really?
Yes. I don't think he has a thrill of it. I just think he was like, okay, because honestly, the resort we stayed at, it was like a $2,000 night resort. I think we had went shopping. He had bought me some stuff. He had sent me some money to get ready. I think he was just like, man, look, this bitch done cost me 15 bands. I need to cut a corner somewhere.
And crazy enough, too, a lot of the time people don't think that they're going to get caught.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't, essentially.
Are you sure?
That shit.
When the person messaged you, did you just like
I didn't
block
respond.
the person?
I blocked him, and I kind of like deactivated my Facebook for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like incognito. And at the time when it happened, because he didn't DM me till like months later, and me and him had fell off, so I don't even think, did I ever tell him? I think I did tell him. I think he just laughed it off because he's so nonchalant about stuff like that, because he was probably like, oh yeah. I think I did tell him. He was like, oh yeah, I found out that dude was scamming. Because honestly, I don't think he knew at the time. Because he thought it was gonna be like a type of like buddy pass type of situation. Oh, I gave him X amount of money, I can fly free for the year. But he didn't know this guy worked for American, but he was stealing people's miles and stuff. So I think whenever he found out, he was like, oh yeah, he was on some whatever, and I just got my money back from him because it was like, you on some bullshit. And then after that, like, we started, talking again, and we had flew to different locations, Delta, but
it's bad. I'm sitting here like, I need a friend like that can find me some miles,
right?
Yeah, but I think when it comes to like crimes and stuff, I'm snitching. I don't know nothing, but also when a man doesn't want to tell you what he does for a living on the first date, don't ask.
That's a red flag.
Don't ask, because what y'all do for a living? If y'all go on a first date and somebody's like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I do this. You're proud of it. Mm-hmm. If you are a successful person in your field, you are proud of what you do, baby. I do not shut up about poor minds.
Right.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're on a first date and you ask somebody what they do, they're like, oh, I got some businesses. I'm a street pharmacist. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got a few investors.
I got some invested properties. You know what I'm saying?
I'm an investor.
Okay.
Niggas love to be investors.
They love a good Robin Hood.
Yeah. They do.
Don't let a nigga have a
Little
Robin Hood.
acorn.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God. Okay. So we gonna move. Have y'all ever dated somebody like though behind bars? Like talk to them? No? Okay, good.
I have an ex that's in prison for life.
Oh, what did he do?
Wow. kill?
Murder.
It was dumb, too.
Do you feel like the signs was there?
You know what? Okay, so I did not date him while he was on a murder spree. We actually dated.
It was a spree? I was finna say.
He was out here spraying everybody.
I dated this guy. He actually was like my middle school summer camp boyfriend.
Okay.
And I remember everybody was like, Marah, you're such a goody two-shoes. Like, that's not the person that you want to be with. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going into the 7th grade. And so, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, him and I are going to be together forever. We love each other. And so, obviously, we broke up because the summer ended and I had to go back to school. And he ended up going to high school with us, and we're actually going to tell the story on our Patreon. But now he's in prison for the rest of his life for murder. And all my friends are like, remember when you used to date him in middle school? And I'm like, yes. He's a murderer.
Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry.
Drake got some. Drake
He be
got
on Facebook
some murder
still.
pussy.
Who, me? What you mean?
That man that your ex that passed away.
Oh my God. But he passed away long after I stopped fucking him, though.
All right.
That ain't have nothing to do with me.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yes, R.I.P.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lex P.
And it's your girl, Dre Nicole.
And we have a very exciting announcement today. We have a brand new show dropping.
Yeah, so we have a brand new show dropping, y'all, on Patreon. It's going to air on September 2nd, and it's called Poor Chronicles. We're going to be doing so much stuff on there. We're going to be doing challenges. If you can't go to Bella Noche, where the hell could you go?
If you can't go to Bella Noche, where the hell could you go?
We're going to be doing talk to me, chit chat with me. We're going to be spilling a little tea.
Oh my God. No, you didn't. Oh my God.
Everything y'all been wanting to see, we going to be doing it right here on Patreon.
Yes, y'all ask us for so much. Well, we finna give it to y'all every single Monday. And it's gonna be a time. Y'all know Poor Minds has grown into its own little entity. Well, we're gonna have a lot of fun still over here at Poor Chronicles. So make sure y'all tune in September 2nd. It's going down.
Stay tuned.
Ever since I was a little girl, I've loved being on camera, entertaining myself and everybody around me by sharing my thoughts and opinions on anything pop culture. For the past few years, I've heard your requests, but now it's finally time to deliver. Okay, y'all, let's get into the tea with Love Lex P. Tasty.
That I put on the list, y'all, is never settle. And if you're an avid listener of Poor Minds, then you probably have heard me say this numerous times. Like, I say this all the time. I've always felt this way. Don't ever settle for anything in life. If it's not exactly what you want, don't let people tell you that you cannot get what you want out of this life, because it's absolutely possible. I had so many people when I was in my 20s telling me that the things that I wanted was unrealistic, unreasonable. And if I had listened to those people, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's not for anybody else to understand that. As long as you know what it is and you're willing to put the work in to get the things that you want, you don't have to settle. And don't let people convince you that you have to settle. It's usually people that are settling in their own lives that try to, make other people feel like, oh, you can't do this or you can't make that happen. You're thinking too far outside the box. How you gonna do that? No, boo. You can't do that. I can do whatever I want to do, okay? And I will. So yeah, don't ever.
Okay, so now it's time to get into the bed. Ow.
The bed.
Bow.
The bed.
Bow.
Bow. Bow. Bow. Bow.
All right, y'all, I'm a little tipsy now. I had a shot and a half, so I'm feeling good. Okay, so for the bed topic today, we're going to talk about the connection between crime and sex. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm having a ball.
Yeah.
Because I love to get in the true crime business. Oh my gosh. Okay, so y'all know, obviously, I'm going to get into the topic. I'm going to tell y'all what it is, I promise. So I remember this Snapped episode, right?
Okay.
It was this story about this lady in Atlanta, and she had met the bachelor of her dreams. He got money. He in a high rise. He does all this stuff, and she found out he was dating other women. I mean, it's in Atlanta. Hello, what would you think? And she went to his house and they had dinner. She like cooked him dinner or something and they had sex and she waited till he fell asleep, shot him in the face while he was asleep, left, threw the gun out the window, and she almost got away with it. Do y'all know why she didn't get away with it? It's because a random person found the gun and they connected it back to her. If she would have like really took that gun and hid it somewhere, they would have like never found it. It was a random person that like saw something glistening in the grass and they were like, "Ooh, it's a treasure. Let me go pick it up." And it was a gun and they turned it in and connected it back to her. So I want to talk about crimes of passion with sex. Do y'all think the thrill of crime and sex are connected? Or is it more so like sometimes the dick be too good and you be losing your mind?
I mean, crimes of passion have been going on since biblical times. So I definitely feel
Who did that in the Bible? Who did that?
Lex, please.
No, I don't know. What? Is that the book of Revelation?
Goodbye. But I feel like, seriously, though, like, this has been going on for a really long time. Like, women are the number one reason for wars.
Ooh.
If you really think about it. So, absolutely, I think it's connected. I mean, not recently, but in probably the past 5 years, it was an Atlanta rapper who passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Who ended up getting killed because somebody's boyfriend came home. He was at a woman's house and her boyfriend came home and the boyfriend shot her.
Yeah,
I mean, shot him. And killed him. So it happens all the time.
So do y'all feel like most of the cases that y'all do, it's because of a woman scorned? Like a woman scorned, like her man, she snapped.
You know what?
That's the whole show.
Yes.
Surprisingly, not a lot of our cases are like that. But I think we also try to separate them out. But you would be surprised how many people kill just because their lover is acting up or their lover decides that they want to start taking the money away. We had a case, it's a very, very popular case in Atlanta called, the lady's name is Dion Baugh. And she was dating this guy, he was like, super big businessman in Atlanta, very well known. And he had multiple women. Like at his funeral, his secretary was getting credit cards from all these women that were authorized users on his account.
Oh,
because
my God.
The women were like, he's dead and we don't know what to do with his credit cards.
Oh, I would have kept mine.
Well, they didn't know who the murderer was at the time. So they were just like, we don't want to be thought.
True that.
And he wanted to cut her off. And so she got very upset and in the middle of the night came to his house and bludgeoned him to death.
Oh my God.
The craziest part about this story for me is everybody talked about him being a clean man, but they couldn't figure out which woman did it because this was like a while ago before waxing was very popular. When they went into his bed, there was like multiple women's pubic hair.
Oh.
And so they were
God.
like, we don't know which woman did. So they're contacting all the women that he was sleeping with based off of the pubic hair in his sheets.
Oh my gosh.
And she had a husband, but he was cutting her off. He was cutting her off financially, and so
she didn't know what to do with that thing. She was mishandling that thing. She didn't know what to do with it. That's all right.
Mishandling that thing is great.
And she's in jail now, right? Oh my gosh.
She's out now.
Oh, she got free.
Because I would have thought that would have been a life sentence.
Yes, you know what? I think
But you can plead for a lesser sentence.
I know. I think,
That's
okay,
true.
so I can say this. I do understand if self-defense. If it's self-defense, you don't need to go to jail at all. Because if it's you or me, like, I'm choosing myself every time, you gotta go. Crimes of passion, that gets a little, because it's like, you can't control your emotions. So how do I know you're not gonna fall in love with somebody else and do the
it
same
again?
thing? Because you cannot.
But you have to learn how to control your emotions.
You have to.
Like, you not being able to control your emotions is a lack of skill that your parents ain't teach you, whatever reason. I think there's like this point in adulthood where you got to be responsible for, all the things that the parents miss. We're not going to get it all. Like, even as best as the next parent might try, this going to fuck the kid up or that's going to fuck the kid. You got to learn how to fill those spaces without taking somebody's life. You can't just say, I got mad.
And
but
there's more excuses when you're young. Like if you're late teens, early 20s, I'm like, okay,
you're still learning
figuring
how
out. Like,
to
but
do
if you're in
those
your
things.
30s, mid 30s, I'm like,
And you still that mad that you taking, like,
You
my
taking
freedom
lives.
ain't worth nothing.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Just
It's
let
so
it go.
crazy to watch Snapped because you see a lot of these stories and a lot of these women are free now. It's stories of like stuff that happened in like the 90s and they're free now. What's her name? Selena's murderer is up for parole.
She
this
is.
She better
month.
not
But
get
she
out.
been
Let me
up
tell
for
you what.
parole a lot of times.
I don't
though.
think she's gonna get out.
I don't
And
think
if she
so
does,
either.
That's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
Things are
she
going to go
getting
crazy.
The streets is not finna be friendly to her.
She
Not at all.
she won't be out that long.
Yeah.
I would, if I was her,
lie.
I'd be like, parole board, keep me
Yeah,
in.
because she much safer.
Can I have a couple more years?
No.
Because I can't do this.
But it's crazy to
She
me
much safer in
because
there.
I've never been to jail, I've never been to prison, don't
neither.
plan on going. But to me, I feel like for her, it's like, you want your freedom, of course, but like, you should stay in there.
yeah, she's safer.
I feel like
She's much
truly-
safer because them Selena stands.
And I'm one
Gonna
of
be
them.
on her
And She
ass.
better not let me catch her at the local Target.
Okay.
It's going down.
But I feel like
Come
when
on,
you're
la
young-
floor hoe
They
ass
probably
nigga.
gonna have her in some type of witness protection program.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not witness protection, but some type of like protective custody.
Yeah.
They might as well keep her in the prison.
Yeah.
All that. That's
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Because they gotta know letting her be free and just roam around is not gonna be safe for her.
That's the cards that she dealt for herself.
Yeah.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That's true.
But I do want to get on a point that you said because you were saying like you're an adult, you need to learn how to control your anger. And I 100% agree with that. But you motherfucking people need to stop playing with people
Yep.
too. Because you gonna come across the wrong motherfucker
Yep.
and now you're laying on the ground gurgling because your throat slit.
You gotta understand, everybody don't got something to lose. You know what I mean?
You know,
And everybody don't
exactly.
take hurt the same
And I'm not
way.
saying that it's
Some people
okay.
will gladly go behind about
They
some
don't
shit, you know what I mean?
care. They be like, yeah, we both finna be hurting.
And there was a time where I didn't have things to lose. So
Oh,
I have,
Before you get, can I
you
have
might be the
Drake,
wild
please?
one out of y'all too.
how do I want to tell this story?
I'm-
Once upon a time.
Don't confess to no crime now. Don't confess to no crime. We already told you we snitches.
Once upon a time, I was dating my ex, and her and I, we had a very tumultuous relationship. And when we were together, I mean, constantly arguing. I mean, Taz has been my friend for a long time, so I used to be like, I fucking hate this bitch. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So one day, like, things really hit the fan, and we got into like a big, big fight, like very physical altercation, calling the police. She got arrested, and so I called first. See, I ain't shit, and this was my early 20s. First I did thing was call her mom and be like, your daughter in jail, go get her, click. And then I called her best friend, and I was like, your friend is in jail, fuck her, and if she ever come back to this bitch, I'm gonna kill her ass. And her friend called me back and said, so you know I have a voicemail saying that you're gonna kill my friend if you ever do something, right? And I was
Ooh,
like,
period.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
probably shouldn't have said that. And I am almost sure that she probably still, if she was me, I'm sure she still has that voicemail saved. I was like
hold on to it.
23,
Yeah.
but I meant it at the time. I don't mean it now. I don't
Right,
use the
right,
girl no
right.
more. But like, I'm sure like if, Lord, don't let nothing ever happen to that girl.
She like, I got the proof.
They gonna
be like,
come
it was
knocking at
Marah.
my door.
I
They gonna
know,
be
she
like, 10
said,
years later, Marah's come back.
She gonna be on that stand like this, press and play.
I told you I wasn't deleting this shit.
Period. But no, I do feel like I said, any crime against somebody, you do, of course, need to hold yourself. But y'all have to stop playing with people.
Yeah.
You absolutely
You
do.
gonna like she said, some people just have nothing to lose. I don't play on people's top. I don't play with your time. I hate to say this. I hate to talk about this, but it was so crazy. Y'all probably have never heard of this story, but I lived in Houston. She's from Houston. There was a story, Mercedes Moore.
Yeah.
It was a case to where, and I truly don't believe that Mercedes Moore knew that man. I really don't. It was a case where a man was stalking her, showed up at her house, strangled her to death, then ended up, unaliving himself. But the narrative online was like, oh, y'all, because she did OnlyFans, so you know what comes with that. They don't look at women who do sex work as people. So the narrative that came out, oh, y'all need to stop getting men for their money, and if you don't like him, stop talking to
They
people.
made a choice to spend their money.
They
She
had
ain't
a
tricked
choice,
them.
right. But honestly, I don't think she knew that man. I think he was probably like a subscriber on her OnlyFans and was
stalker.
stalking her. I truly believe that. But on the other hand, I will say for women who like aren't in sex work and you're like using men who don't even live that type of lifestyle. Like, this is for the girls who really be trying to like prey on men who don't have much, and they're literally giving their last to you, or vice versa. Men who are preying on women who don't have much and they're giving you your last, and then they find out you're playing them. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to be like using somebody because you're going to catch them on a bad day. The economy is hard, okay, right now. Eggs is $63.99, okay?
Eggs are high as fuck.
Stop playing with people for money, and that's not the game that you play. You know, I always say this.
Yeah.
Leave the sex work and stuff to the girls who know what they're doing and they know how to talk to these people and they know how to navigate that world properly.
I feel like it ain't no proper way to navigate that world.
But it is, though. It's people who are...
know how to keep themselves safe.
They know how to keep themselves safe, you know? And I'm not talking about the pimps, because y'all ain't safe either. I'm talking about the women who really know how to navigate, keep themselves safe, and know what they're doing. You know, there is a way. And I think the problem is a lot of people try to separate themselves. Oh, this isn't sex work. I'm not doing this. If you are selling any kind of fantasy, you talking to a man and he's feeling some type of way in his loins and he's paying you and it's just that's sex work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think that if you're going to take that route, stop making people feel like you care about them and that you love them and that you're going to be with them on both ends. Like I said, men and women, because that shit gets scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people, that's the
But
fantasy that they're paying for.
That's the work.
Yes.
They want to be in that world. They want to feel like somebody caring about them.
And a lot of people, the fact that
what
they're
they're
selling,
paying for.
that's what, you're paying me to make you feel like we're together.
Right.
Even though you've never seen me in person, you're never going to see me in person. But I think with that, it's boundaries. And I don't even know, it's hard.
Also very much, I'm not going to tell you anything real about me.
Yes.
This is a fantasy. We are in this fantasy.
Yes.
So you play along, I'll play along, but this is
They draw
a fantasy.
that
You may know the LLC, but when you look it up on the website, it's gonna go to the PO box, not to this house.
Right,
you know?
exactly. And I tell that to all women. If you a sex worker or not, I even told, I think it was something you was doing. You was on live one time. I said, girl, get out your fucking window. Cause it just be the little shit. It be the smallest shit.
People
and somebody gonna find where you live.
Yeah.
I post in front of my white wall. I got a white wall and that's it. That's all y'all finna see. But taking pictures in my house, I'm not doing it.
Or posting where you at while you there.
Oh yeah, everything
good
is a
idea.
delayed post.
Everything
is a delayed post.
Everything.
There's this TikTok. It's this white man that like used to work for the government, and his job, what he does on TikTok is try to teach people how easy it is to be found. So people will be like, hey, come find me, and they'll just do this in their background, and he'll say, okay, I can tell by, I saw that street sign, I enhanced the image, okay, that street, I can look how many times that street is in America. Okay, I also saw that there was a Dollar General, so now I need to find out how many times this street intersects with a street where there's a Dollar General. Oh, I saw that there was rocks here and construction, so now I get to look up construction zones. I know, and then he can pinpoint exactly where you were standing on the corner.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary. And I think for me, it's crazy because when I was in Mexico with the scamming flight, that's when I found out that Mercedes had passed. And it was so crazy because I remember going through her Instagram and I'm just looking, I'm like, this is probably a picture that he looked at because she's just innocently taking pictures in front of her house, in her house, around her house, just not, because we don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? Especially during this time. Well, because this happened in 2020?
This is probably like 2021.
Because this is definitely before my mom passed. So
How old or young was she?
she was like 30.
Yeah, she was probably like 31.
Yeah, she was like
30,
31,
31.
32.
That's so interesting because like we came up with the age, like we all know floppy disk, and you know what I'm saying? Like we all know that. And so I also remember the scare of the internet. Like
Yes.
my mom was terrified of the internet. We used to have assemblies in school about your footprint on the internet.
Yep.
It used to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of younger folks, they don't get that anymore because like
It's so common.
It's so
when Google hit,
they
I
starting
remember-
the internet at 2 years old. Like,
you know, and I remember
Can't leave the
people
house
used to think
without
that
an
Google
iPad.
wasn't going to take off, and now Google is this huge entity.
Right.
And so people aren't even taught that you
not
are
safe.
vulnerable.
All the time.
Us sitting here is vulnerable.
Right. I think another good point is, like I said, just being aware because you just never know. And like I said, delayed posting, like that can literally save your life. I tweeted that the other day. I said, discernment can save your life. And it's unfortunate that things like that have to happen for you to like wake up and be like, oh my gosh. Because think about how many people listen to y'all podcasts.
Yep.
It only takes one weirdo.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about how many people listen to Poor Minds. It only takes one fucking obsessed weirdo. And like I said, I think it's a very fine line. Like I said, with Mercedes' story, it was so awful because I'm like, this girl lost her life and all y'all keep talking about is, oh, well, she was in sex work. And they dehumanize people so bad. But at the end of the day, she was the victim. She was stalked.
Mm-hmm.
She was stalked at the end of the day. I don't care what, even if she did know the man and she was taking money from him, that was her job. She was on OnlyFans. So they do probably sometimes have conversations with these people. You know what I'm
She
saying?
wasn't even scamming him. She wasn't
She wasn't
doing
scamming
her
him.
job.
That was
He
she was
was
doing.
paying.
She was on OnlyFans. She was filing her taxes
Yeah.
every time
You know what
a
I'm
year
saying?
for that money.
And he grew an attachment to
Oh
her.
my gosh, it was so, I was so disgusted and frustrated at that narrative at the time.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the platform that we do now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just remember like wanting to say something so bad because there's like these men on these large platforms just victim blaming. And I think that's something that we definitely need to steer away from because like I said, I know what I just said, so y'all finna be like, oh, she's contradicting herself because I did say stop playing with people and stop doing that. But also, we have to stop victim blaming as well.
But would you consider a situation like that like a crime of passion? Because I think when I think about crimes of passion, I always think about like people in relationships.
Yes, that's not a crime
and
of
they
passion.
did
He was
something to the
mentally
person
ill.
because they felt some type of way. Like, but then I feel like it's no getting away from it because a crime of passion could be okay. This person found out you was cheating on them,
Right.
but then sometimes even if you're honest with the person and you tell them, "Hey, look, this relationship no longer serves me. I don't want to be with you anymore." Even in situations like that, people be snapping and wanting to kill you. So it's really no avoiding it.
I don't think for a crime of passion, both people have to be.
You don't.
You know, like for him, it was passion. For him, that was hers, you know, and he's jealous of all these other people and other things. And so if he's doing it out of the love that he has for her, it doesn't matter if it's reciprocated.
Well,
That's still why he did it.
And crime of passions aren't always about love. Sometimes they're about hate. So a lot of times things are categorized crimes of passion when there's things like overkill. Like,
it could be a mother and a daughter.
It could be a mother
Yeah.
and a daughter. It could
True,
be a mother's boyfriend. It could be the daughter's boyfriend to the mother. And the fact that the mother was killed, instead of stabbed in the heart once, she was stabbed 87 times. That then becomes a crime of passion. And that also lets investigators know, okay, this is probably somebody that this person knows. It's probably not a random robbery gone wrong now.
Right.
And so I think with crimes of passion, when it comes to like couples, it usually is something that hasn't been addressed over time. Like it's a gradual thing.
Build up.
Yeah, it's a gradual build up for sure.
Well, the reason I said that about the crime of passion, I think it has to be between two people who are familiar because I think that's when it's people who aren't familiar, like with the Mercedes case, I wouldn't count that as a crime of passion, even though in his head, he probably felt like he was in love and this and that. I think that's when you start getting to the territory of mental illness.
Yeah.
So I think I would separate crimes of passion from people who have a mental illness because anybody can become victim of a crime of passion.
But don't you think crimes of passion are when people hit that mental break?
Yes, they do, but I think it's a mental break and it's a moment because you never know what can make you snap. You can never say never
Until it happens.
until it happens to you. You never know how somebody will take you there. But versus somebody, that man probably been weird for his entire life. You can't sit up here and tell me, like, if he was alive,
person he was stalking.
right, if he was alive and they were able to deep dive into that, that's another thing. Her case didn't get deep dive into, I think, because she was not only a black woman, but she was a sex worker. Because they should have deep dived into his history and his life to figure out, to give everybody just more answers. Because she was
probably
cared
would've been
about.
more victims of his stalking, even if they weren't like any victims that he actually put his hands on. There's probably other women. There's probably plenty of restraining orders
Yes,
on him.
yeah.
at this time.
Exactly. So I think it's a difference because if they would have really looked into his history of who he was, it was a lot more victims. It was the red flags were there. So people like that, I'm like, those are the people that need to get, locked up for life and throw away the key. You know what I'm saying? Because if you leave them out, if it wasn't her, it was gonna be somebody else. If he would have not unalived himself, he would have kept going and did it to other people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do feel like crimes of passion, it's kind of like they snapped, truly snapped. And like I said, I'm not making excuses because there's still victims in all these situations. But I do like to feel that it's a little just different.
And you see that snap sometimes because like mothers, when it comes to their children, or if somebody's threatening to take their children away, that usually is like, people don't know how they're going to react behind their child until they're in that situation. Like, oh, you're about to take my child away from me? No, I'm about to take you out of this world.
Right.
So it's, like I said, it's always something, and it's usually a gradual buildup because it's probably something like, you're not a good mother. You're not a good mother. You need to take care of your children more. Okay, I'm going to make sure that your children get taken away from you. Oh, I'm calling defects on you. Okay, now I got to kill you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's that instant snap where you probably could have thought logically, got a lawyer, petitioned the court.
Right.
But in your mind, it's like, it's me and these children against everybody.
Fight
so you
or
see
flight,
it in any type of relationship.
Yeah.
It was like that case in Florida. Do y'all remember when that lady found out like her husband was like assaulting the kids at her daycare? She owned a daycare and she didn't even shoot him. She shot in the air, like warning shots. Like, I will kill you if you continue to do this. They were getting into it. And he didn't go to jail. She did.
Warning shots are illegal.
Yeah.
So, especially if you are a licensed carrier, that is illegal.
Yeah. So it's just like, in that moment, she snapped because she's, in her mind, trying to protect these kids. You're a monster. But the way the legal system is, I mean, it's crazy. I need to see what happened to her. Because they were trying to put her away for a long time.
And the internet was like, no, put him away.
Yes, and they would not lock him up. They would not lock him up. Okay, y'all.
I'm trying to think. What's the time that I thought I was getting set up? Maybe when that girl was trying to figure out if I was dating him.
I swear to God, I was thinking that. I had your back 10 toes down.
Yeah, like, bitch, the fuck you thought?
I said, I don't know. She would never do that to you.
But my thing is, did she really think you was gonna tell her that I was talking to him? Like, bitch, Lex is my friend. She's my
was like,
friend.
Lex, tell me the truth.
I don't care how long y'all, because I mean, y'all was kind of cool, I guess, a little bit, but you had just met her. Yeah. So it's like, why would you think Lex is gonna tell you anything that I don't want you to know? Lex knows I don't want you to know this. She's not gonna tell you the truth.
I said, girl, she would never do that to you. Look at me in my eyes.
I definitely felt like she was trying to set me up for sure.
She was.
Yes, because at the time, I was single, so I was talking to like 2 different people.
Right.
And she went and asked the other dude that I was talking to if I was talking to the other dude.
Child.
Like, she was really trying to get to the bottom of it.
She really was. She was so pressed.
She was very pressed.
That was so strange. Looking back
Literally.
on it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, XP.
And it's your girl, Dre Nicole.
Y'all know we have a segment on Poor Minds called Item of the Week. But do you have a product or something that you want to promote and you want it featured on Poor Minds? Your opportunity is here.
Period. If you have an item or you have a business and you want to get it promoted, we are now having slots available on the Poor Minds episode. So if you would like to get your product featured for Item of the Week, all you need to do is send an email to itemoftheweekpm@gmail.com. That's itemoftheweekpm@gmail.com. Send us an email and we'll work it out. We're going to figure it out. Get your product, get your business sponsored, and make you some money.
We love to support a small business now.
And a Black business at that. But I mean,
any
business is welcome.
We don't discriminate.
Any business is welcome. Okay, y'all. Let's get into the bop of the week.
The bop of...
The bop.
The bop. Hey, the bop. Bow. 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 Okay, so
what y'all been listening to?
Yeah, what's y'all's bop of the week?
It could be something new, old. It don't matter.
Taz is definitely the music girly out of
You're the music girly? Okay, Pearl. What you been listening to?
I feel like, honestly, when I do turn on music, I like to go back. Like, I like to listen to, like, 90s hip-hop, like Atlanta rap.
Okay.
Welcome to Atlanta. Or, you know what I've really been on? I've been on slow jams, real heavy.
I'm an R&B girly.
I love R&B.
I'm an R&B girly. Mm-hmm.
But, like, the old slow jams. Like, people I don't know. I seen a debate the other day, and somebody was talking about who's the queen of R&B, and people were naming like her and stuff, and I was like, "You
Really? The queen?
That's what I'm saying. Like, not to take nothing away from her, but
no.
queen is a heavy title for a new age girl.
Probably
Yeah.
take princess.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Duchess.
Not princess.
A little duchess.
like
Queen
y'all
of
have to take
R&B.
that back
That's like a
You
Mariah
have Tony
Carey.
Braxton, you have Mariah Carey, you have Kelly Price, you have all these
Mary
other
J. Blige. Like,
Everybody's
those
out
are
there.
the queens. The queens.
Her
Okay.
is too new age.
right.
Okay. What you been jamming, Dre?
Okay, so you know Drake and Party just had that album that just came out, but I really like Pimmy that's on the album. I've been listening to her new EP. Well, it's not new, it's from last year, but it's called Bittersweet. But I really like her voice.
Okay.
So that's what I've been listening to. So what you been listening to?
So I'm a Broadway girly, and so I'm usually listening to like what's nominated for the Tonys this year. But I just announced to everybody that I'm pregnant.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So I'm having a little boy. So I have been putting together like my sweet lullaby playlist.
Aww.
And so like it's mostly songs that I'm just super into. So the song right now is That'll Be Enough from Hamilton, because it talks about like her telling him that he's having a son and being so
From the
passionate
play,
about-
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's the song. And Wheels of a Dream from Ragtime. These are all like, Ragtime is a very old musical, but it's very popular. So I'm always a Broadway girly.
I was about to say you're a musical girl.
I'm a musical girly, and so now that I'm putting together like all these like sweet baby songs for me and the baby, I'm like, that's what I'm.
So you're gonna be the mama singing. You're gonna be singing down.
Taking them to Broadway show.
Oh, that's right.
Somebody's gonna love you.
Okay, so my bop of the week, sticking true to the theme. I took it too far with the theme this week, y'all.
What?
Okay.
Okay, so this is a throwback. So I'm glad that you said throwback today. I never do throwbacks. Okay, are y'all Michael Jackson fans?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I'm about to get deep in my Michael Jackson bag. Like, this is a pocket that a lot of people don't know. This is a true crime song. Did y'all know that Michael Jackson sang about true crime?
Smooth Criminal.
No, he has a song. Do y'all remember that song, Little Susie?
No.
Exactly. Now, I'm not even gonna get into the song of Little Susie, but it is a song about a little girl who was murdered in her own home. I just wanna read to y'all the first lines of the lyrics.
What
Okay.
does it say?
I'm gonna read the first two lines and I'm gonna let y'all go listen to it on
I
the
was
way
gonna say
home.
this sounds
Okay.
Somebody killed Little Susie, the girl with the tune, who sings in the daytime at noon. She was there screaming, beating her voice in the dune. Nobody came to her soon. God damn it, it was a song. I'm telling y'all.
Oh my goodness.
This song used to scare me because he's singing about how somebody pushed her down the stairs. She had blood in her hair. I used to listen to this song when I was like 6, y'all, and it used to horrify me.
What album was this on?
This was on the one where he was in the statue with the lights. You know what I'm talking about? The statue? Like this. He was standing like, y'all know what? I can't remember what album. It's called, y'all, it is a horrifying song. It's horrifying.
and it will be on the official Sistas Who Kill playlist very soon.
Seriously, it's called
Y'all gotta
Little
put it
Susie,
on
and it is
there.
a true crime because he's talking about how everybody showed up at the funeral. It's tea, y'all.
Okay.
I said, Michael Jackson, I knew I was getting too deep in I knew I was too deep in that
Let me
bag.
find something on brand.
Past, present, and future
Okay.
album. Yes, y'all have to go listen to Little Susie. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God. Oh my God, Michael. Michael was crazy. All right.
Now it's time to get into our favorite segment of the show, which is Pour Your Heart Out. Y'all know if y'all have any questions or testimonials, send them in to askpourminds@gmail.com, askpourminds@gmail.com. Okay. It don't say the
You
numbers.
spell
I know.
it real good.
Thanks, girl. I be feeling like I gotta spell it out. Because people, as long as we've had this show, people still be like Poor Minds, Poor. So I be like, let me
Now that ain't
spell it
never
out.
been y'all brand.
Okay, what about a year's pour? They was probably watching Wind Down Wednesday when my wig was still.
It was a little poor
They
back
used to give a
then.
little pull back
And
then.
we was giving a little poor back then.
Okay, you wanna go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Hey, Lex and Drea, keep me anonymous. I'm a pathological liar. See, you
Mood.
you should
I
have
got this.
read
I'm
this
an answer. I'm an
question.
answer. I got her.
I lie about anything. You could text me what you doing while I'm watching Netflix in bed, and I'll say I'm making a steak dinner and saging my home.
Okay. Now, you took it too far.
I feel like it just adds a little mystery to my life. I recently sent you guys 2 emails lying my ass off. So hopefully y'all get to this one first and weed me out the bunch. The thing is, I'll lie at first, then immediately have to come back and tell the truth. Because, girl, why did I even lie like that? Lex, do you still be lying? How do you fight the urge? Do I need to put a rubber band on my wrist or something? Sorry this was long. I love you guys. XO.
You know what's crazy? The joke about me lying.
It ain't a joke.
I'll say this. I always take lying as a joke because it started from me talking about lying to my niggas and guys that I'm dating. Because I'd be like, oh yeah, like.
Those are cool lies.
Yeah. So obviously it got taken out of context because of the show. And it's funny, I'm going to go along with it because I'm like, oh, I love a good lie. Because, you lie to these niggas. But if you are lying, if you are lying about you just laying in the bed, and you talking about you cooking a whole steak dinner,
literally for no
you're
reason.
taking it
Crazy.
You're taking it a little too far. Like I said, lies are supposed to be fun.
They're supposed to be fun.
If a man calls you and you at home in bed crying, you supposed to be like, oh, I'm outside with my girls. Those are the lies that we talk about when you say I love to lie. Oh, what you gotta do this weekend? Oh, I'm booked up and busy. I gotta go to Greece this weekend, I think. Those are the kind of lies we like to tell. But you just lying for the fun of it.
Friends for real.
A steak dinner.
Because a steak
you
dinner
in bed,
is nuts.
saging your home.
Because only time that I could see lying through text message is if you know that person is a FaceTimer and you don't want, if I'm at home watching TV and I don't want you to text me or I don't want you to FaceTime me, I have some people that'll text me and say, what are you doing? And I'm like,
Busy.
I would just say I'm busy because I really don't want to turn off 90 Day Fiance. Like
it's never given I have to wear a rubber band and snap
Yeah.
it to stop. You might need to go to that lady.
Yeah,
you
you
gotta
might
talk
need
to-
to
you gotta
go
talk
get
to
a
her.
little therapy.
Yeah.
That's a little OD.
We
And even to say I wrote in, I sent y'all 2 lying ass emails.
She gonna be
Hopefully,
the next email.
right.
Y'all should go copy and paste the email and find all of her lies.
girl, we are.
Yeah,
Exposed.
because honestly, we gotta look up her email address and see what's the other 2 that are lies. Because, baby, I'm a liar, but I'm not on your level.
She said,
we are
"Leave
not
me
the
out
same.
the budge. I'm not even trying to waste y'all time."
I am a weed. Good luck, girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, ladies, I know this might sound crazy, but I've been out of a DV relationship for about 2 years now, and I haven't been sexually active since. Do you think it's crazy for that ex to pay me for sexual relations because I don't want to deal with anyone new yet? Or should I stay on my heel and keep my distance?
Keep your distance,
Keep
girl.
your distance.
Girl,
DV
what?
domestic
And he wanna
violence.
No, that's what I'm saying. DV, that's a little like,
No,
Is your life worth it?
we just talked about true crime now.
he gonna be like that person that with the conjugal visit.
Hey, now,
Because what?
that's a little much. I know rent due. I know Ed.
Him paying her
$16.
just so she don't have to go sleep with somebody else, but he was.
But I also
Girl,
think,
lie about your body count
abusing
and go
you?
have sex with somebody else.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care.
and I also think a lot of
If
times
nobody
when
can if nobody could put you on it, it don't matter. It didn't happen.
right, and I think also when women, I'm assuming it's a woman. She didn't say if it's a woman or a man, but either way, woman or man. I think a lot of times when people are in DV relationships, you feel some kind of hold to like fix this person. And I don't think this has anything to do with you not wanting to have sex with somebody. I think this has to do with you having, you feel like you have a soul tie to this person and you still want to reach out to them and be around them. So for your safety and your health and everything, your mental health, stay on your heel and keep your distance. Nothing is worse that.
Yeah.
Move on.
Get a rose.
Get a rose, child.
Or just go find you a new man.
Yeah. Find you it's a billion people in the world. Okay?
Find you somebody to have a conjugal visit with.
Okay. Well,
There's plenty of them waiting.
chill. Okay, well, let them know where they can find y'all's podcast, where they can follow y'all at, when the episodes drop, all that good stuff.
Okay, y'all. You can find us Sistas Who Kill, SISTAS Who Kill, anywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. We drop every single Friday. Every single Friday, you will get a new case from us, and you can find us patreon.com/Sistas Who Kill. Yeah, Fridays.
Period. Thank y'all so much. This was so much fun.
Thank y'all.
Great.
This was really fun.
All right. And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Y'all make sure y'all share the content, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And let me say this before we close out. Y'all, there is one Twitter account that is connected to Poor Minds. It's POUR_MINDS. Y'all are tagging the wrong Poor Minds page. If you see @Poor Minds with no underscore, that is a fake page. Do not follow that page, okay? They blocked me, Andrea, and the Poor Minds page on both. So we only have one Instagram, one Twitter, one TikTok. It is POUR_MINDS. All right?
And we got hella fake Facebook pages.
Oh, the Facebook pages. It's the
The crazy thing is our Facebook page actually have the least amount of followers.
So if you go on Facebook,
the one that's ours
got the least amount of followers.
The one that's not us got like 250,000
But y'all
followers.
know it's fake if you actually look at the content, because the caption is like, whoever it is don't speak English. Because their captions are like,
Bomba Claus.
Should men pay bill? Should men pay bill? Yes, no. Check answer below.
Block.
Booyah, booyah, booyah.
Like, that's literally what the captions be.
I like you. What with that DDG's Bomba Claude?
Bomba Claus.
I love that video. We got Sistas Who Sing in the building.
Oh,
Ooh, hit it, Drea. You finna sing it?
Yeah.
You better sing. Heartbreak Hotel. This is the. I think we can all hit it together.
Yeah.
How y'all feeling?
You said you'd be here by 9. Instead, you took your time. You didn't think to call me, boy. Here I sit, trying not to cry, asking myself why you do this to me. Since you're not around for me to tell you, baby, face to face, I'm writing you this letter, and this is what I have to say. All I really wanted was some of your time. You said you told me lies when someone else was on your mind. What you do to me? What you do?
Sing it. Say what you did to me. Oh, baby.
Know that you were someone who would do me right until you play with my emotions and you made me cry. What you do to me?
And
Say what you did to me.
Hit it, Drea.
Now I see that you've been doing wrong.
That's right.
You played me all along.
Yeah.
And made a fool of me, baby. You got it all wrong to think that I wouldn't find out. Come on, Lex.
That you would cheat on me, baby. How could you do that to me? Oh, yeah.
Since you're not around for me to tell you, baby, face to face, I'm writing you this letter, and this is what I have to say.
All I really wanted was some of your time. And said you told me lies when someone else was on your mind. What you did to me?
What you doing?
Can't say what you did to me.
Yeah.
I thought that you were someone who would do me right. And said you played with my emotions and you made me cry. What you did to me? Can't take what you did to me. This is a true crime song too. Can't take what you did to me, hoe ass nigga. We'll see y'all next week. Heartbreak Hotel. This is the Heartbreak Hotel.